morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
It's Friday, my dudes.
And a TGIF to you all. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Josh and Zach hanging out with you. Got a special friend joining us this morning, Mr. Jonathan from Jersey. Just traveling as he's been known to do as of late. How you doing, Zach?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Coffee's hitting, getting it into the old bloodstream, so should be awake here any minute.
Yeah, fingers crossed I am too. We're going to let Jonathan carry this shit till we figure it out. How you doing, Jonathan?
Oh, no. Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Jonathan?
How you doing, buddy? Like I was telling you guys before the show, I just put on my Facebook post, the devil went down to Georgia, but he kept on driving to Florida. So
are you heading back to Florida then?
This is it's the weirdest. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Like the things that have happened in the past couple of weeks, my life was always like weird. And I don't plan it. I just listen, right? And Spirit says go, I just go. So I get up to Jersey. I was going to a friend's movie premiere. I wanted to see my son, turn 18. I was there for that. And then it rolled into Thanksgiving. My friend's like, oh, why don't you just chill here at my place? I'm like, all right. And then he goes, all right, I'll see you later. I'm like, what? And he's like, I'm going down to Hilton Head. I'm going to see my parents. I was like, oh, okay. You're going to spend Thanksgiving with them. That's cool. I said, my son's with his parent, his mom and stepdad and all that. I'll catch up with him on the weekend, whatever. So I said, when are you coming back? He goes, 31st. And I was like, oh, cool. I'll see you in 2 weeks. He goes, no, December 31st. He goes, I'm paying for the rent for the month. You can just stay here and chill. So I was all excited, right? I was going to do some work, see friends, catch up on things, had some model shoots set up. And then all of a sudden, the friggin' landlord finds out I'm staying there and kicks me out after he's been paid on the 1st. So my friend calls me up. He's like, you got to get out of here. He's like, I'm so sorry. And he's apologizing. I'm like, hey, it's meant to be, right? So now I'm thinking, I got no money in my pocket, dudes. I literally had less than $1 on each one of my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. My bank is frozen, right? Levies against it and shit. I got no money, right? And Spirit's like, just get up and go out the door. You're going to be cool. It's all good. I'm like, okay. So I go out the door this morning. I go to the library. I'm chilling out, just waiting. And they're like, yeah, just wait here and do some work on your laptop. Okay. I get a call or a text from this woman in Florida. And she says, she goes, I got approval for my thing that I'm, putting together that we tried doing last year. COVID's over now. She says, I want to pay you to be the lead photographer. I'm like, wow, that's great. I was just about to sell my cameras to see where I was going to go next. I had no money. So she's like, no, how much do you need? I gave her a price and she's like, okay. And she, sent it to me on PayPal. So now I got the money to come down here and I put in for a job like that. That's why I was asking about Athens, Georgia. Basically what I'm saying is everything lined up because I did nothing. I just reacted to, listening to Spirit. And it's the weirdest thing, man. This faith walk, it's building my intestinal fortitude, but it's wearing on me mentally and emotionally. It's tough stuff. But so that's where Jonathan from Jersey is.
It really does wear on you too. Because I've been there, that spot, and you do it on your nerves and everything. It's not easy, but you just sit around and you listen.
You know what it is too? When people say when you try telling people I'm at the end of my rope, I can't take it anymore, and they try to encourage you to go on like you're Rocky Balboa looking to get hit in the face in round 12. And they don't understand that, like, you've already been doing this now for several years. Like, no, I mean it. I'm at the end of my proverbial rope.
People, this isn't round 12. It's round like 97.
97, basically. And it's like, and you know what? Like, even though you persevere, like right now I'm on a high, right? Because things changed so drastically in less than 24 hours, right? I literally went. Now look at here. Let me say it this way. If I had gone through this in the past and I wasn't prepared for it, I might have shown signs of, I guess, the equivalent of bipolar, right? 1 minute I'm high and manic, I'm happy. Next minute I'm depressed. But now, because I've seen these patterns happen so often, you get to this point of, I guess, equilibrium, and you start to see beyond the duality of it, and you just accept everything in the current moment, right? So like, and this is what I think like the flat earth is going to come about in the same way. It's kind of like an aha moment. It's like that flip of the switch. And eventually, you know, you either get to that point or you don't. But when it happens, it's subtle yet so profound. Does that make sense?
It does.
So I've started to like look at all the moments that are going on around me, meaning concurrently, and saying, okay, this is just one moment. It's always transient, right? It's always changing. It's not immutable. And it's a matter of me getting out of my own way and not giving into any emotion, because emotion, of course, dictates over logic. But the logical person, you know, people that are too rigid in logic at the same time would say, well, what are you going to do for, like my dad, right? What are you going to do for a job? Where are you going to go? Blah, 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 blah. I don't react in either sense. Like, I don't react emotional to that. Like, I guess he's getting emotional from a logical perspective, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't react to either logic or emotion. I just observe. And when you observe, when you put yourself in that state, I guess this is like the transcendence, like transcendental meditation, or like where monks try to achieve, where they're in that Zen state. You're not supposed to react to any of it. You're supposed to observe it and then flow with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically, that's the only way I can explain it. You know, I don't want to dare call it maturity. It's not maturity. But it's kind of like an acceptance of what is. It's like if your death was final, you're going to go out like a bitch and whimper, you know, or you're going to just be like yelling freedom like, you know, Mel Gibson. Like, F it, you know, it's like, it's here, it's present. Okay, this is actually where it happens. Okay, I accept it. You know what I mean? Yep. And then all of a sudden, if somebody comes in and saves your ass, it's like, oh, I guess, well, you know, God didn't want me dead. And hey, you know, the twist in the plot just occurred. And here we go. Round 98. Anyway.
Ding, ding, motherfuckers.
Yeah, basically. But, yeah, so how are you guys doing? I've missed you.
Missed you too. I was just thinking about you the other day. Man, I haven't heard from Jonathan. Not in a bad way. Just wondering what you been up to.
Okay.
Everything's good. I found out yesterday that I have been granted permission to not be molested by my work.
I thought you were going to say your wife.
Oh, you can't rape the woman.
What do you mean not molested by work? What does that mean?
I get the impression they were going to go ahead and try to go through with some vaccine mandates, regardless of.
Shut up.
Yeah. That was my impression. I did not get the idea that they were going to back off, that they were still going to. My work is the only place that I have to wear a mask. And I only wear it like.
Wait a minute. Is that because of the clientele that you have? Because you're working with government and federal, you know, type of contracts?
That's going to. Probably part of it. I think the. Most of the corporate office up front tend to lean a little to the left and live a little bit off the fear. So I think there's still a lot of fear up there in the front, and they're still thinking, for protection, I need to get a vaccine.
Do you need documentation like otherwise? Because, you know, one of the things I'll be doing when I get down to Florida is, you know, talking to certain people.
You know, I think I'm all right. I got Marty Leeds. I had Marty send me his vaccine mandate because he had one written up and was given to people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was cool because it had a mask exemption.
Right.
It had the testing exemption, and it had the vaccine exemption that Marty wrote into that whole thing. So it was really cool. But yeah, it's
well,
back.
I know you're on.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that you're on my Facebook. Did you see that thing I put up? Remember Schoolhouse Rock about the bill?
Mm-hmm.
How, it's waiting to become a law?
Yep.
So a mandate is not a law.
Right.
I don't see how they can enforce it. It's, if, you can actually hit them with, and say, look, you want to push this issue, then you're going to be liable for this, 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 and this, and you're going to violate this, this, and this if you want to go, go that route.
Just a suggestion.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, they can mandate anything, but it doesn't mean you have to do it. It's a suggestion by definition. I don't understand how they say mandate and then they expect you like you have to do it. That would be a law.
Because people are slaves.
But they play with the language all the time, and they say, well, you're volunteering to do this, right? Like, no. Well, okay, then you can't work here. Well, how is that volunteering? That's coercion.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Well, we're not forcing you to do it.
Right.
I'm not sure that's how duress and coercion work under the law. I'm pretty sure that's what that justifies is if you don't do this, I'm going to take away your livelihood. That pretty much counts as force. Doesn't have to be physical. Force isn't physical necessarily. But things have been a little weird around here because I've been putting off this exemption form for as long as I can because, fuck you. I don't need to be exempt from your shit. Why don't you be exempt from not stabbing me? I have a general policy maintained for 40 years. No violations of my body. If you want to be exempt to my policy, you go ahead and fill out your exemption and we'll see if I will accept your exemption. But I shouldn't need to be exempt from your tendencies to want to stab people with needles.
Yeah, exactly.
So I put it off as long as I could. And Dixie's been dealing with stuff at work. She's basically got another job. She was just waiting for the projects to get together. She was going to go from the engineering company to a more like construction firm where they needed the admin work. Okay. So they pulled the job because of COVID. So they we really want to hire you. Like everybody here loves you. As soon as we get a job with, money to pay you, we will call you back and get you started right away. Because she was done with the bullshit at her work. Didn't see it going anywhere and was just kind of pissed and done and ready to move on.
Wait, there was another company that kind of was, knew her from interaction and said, we want to hire you as soon as you quit that place?
No, she actually went out and was searching. She was actively searching for a new job.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Because, she was pissed. She was pissed at the vaccine shit, just pissed at everything. And then all the management was getting stupid and being dumb and treating people like shit. So she was just like, you know what? I'm not going to put up with this. So she started looking and found a really, really good job doing similar work, which didn't necessarily interest her. She was looking to maybe find something a little bit more challenging, a little something different.
You know what that reminds me of? When I left Verizon, when Bell Atlantic was transferring over to Verizon, they got rid of all the goodies. We had free college, we had all these freebies, and they grandfathered some of it in. But when I left, I'd taken a double package, and I wasn't disgruntled. It was just the way things landed. Management said, dude, if you can get a double package, meaning 2 years worth of salary plus collect unemployment, take it. And it was a week before my son was born. But my old boss called me up a month after I left there and he needed help with some. And I wasn't a prick. I liked the guy. So, I helped him over the phone. And I said, I'm doing this for you, right? I'm not doing this for Pete, right? And he goes, no, I really need your help. I said, okay, as long as I'm not doing it for Pete. Because I couldn't stand this guy, Pete. But that's cool that she's in a position that she's, necessary and she could call out her own terms.
Well, apparently things got a little bit better as of yesterday. But before that...
Oh, they didn't want her to leave?
Well, they weren't even really aware. Her immediate boss, the office manager, knows because they're close and they talk and hang out and we have her old dog and shit. So her office manager, her immediate boss knew, but if anybody else had found out, they'd have probably just fired her right there on the spot. Because they don't really deal with 2 weeks notices and shit like that. So it's all been kind of hush hush that she's even been looking.
I got you.
And then bonus time came along. and her bonus was about 75% of what it was last year. And which hurt her a lot. That, you know, that was the one light at the end of the tunnel, was that at least at the end of the year we'll be able to get caught up on bills and get put back.
But wait, was that across the board for everybody, or because she was getting out of line?
Across the board for everybody. Everybody's was significantly smaller.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's kind of upset and freaking out because she's not nearly as comfortable as she'd hoped to be with that bonus. So she's freaking out about money. And then enter.
Well, you guys are still married, right? You share a home, you share bills and expenses.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. But she makes considerably more than I do.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. Are you saying you're not getting a PS5 this year?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. And nor next year or the year after that, for what it's worth.
What?
So I know that she was just completely stressed about money and work and everything. And I was down to 0 hour. Literally, my exemption was due Wednesday, and it was Tuesday afternoon, about an hour before I had to leave.
Right.
I'd already set up a really strong foundation for conditional acceptance, right? I said, you know, what's the difference between a moral code and a personal philosophy? Why can I have a moral code, but I can't have a personal philosophy? What's the difference? Who's defining these words? Are these self-defined by the company? Are you using legal definitions, scientific definitions? I mean, I had a really good conditional acceptance foundation laid. And it just got to the point where I said, well, what the fuck do I do? Do I put her under more stress, or do I just fucking eat it? And, you know, maybe they give me the exemption, maybe they don't. Really, it's not going to affect me either way unless I have to go find a new job, but that's not even that big of a deal. It was just a principle. It was, I didn't like the taste of shit in my mouth. And I knew that if I was going to do it, it just felt like me eating shit, requesting an exemption from being molested with a needle. But I just did it. I just filled it out. I basically copied a couple of sentences from Marty's exemption letter and just put it right on their little worksheet. I just copied it over, put my signature on there, no problems, and didn't reserve my rights, didn't throw on a UCC code. I didn't do any of that. There was no 308, nothing on there. I just kept it straight legit. If the OSHA or the Biden administration wanted to come back and audit their records to see how many of their exemptions were true, legitimate religious exemptions, mine would definitely be up there. There would have been no reason for my exemption to have been rejected, because it was the only one I think that was actually would have been considered legitimate. They were really lax on their acceptance because they didn't want to lose all those workers, because we have several people that weren't going to get it. So they were being real relaxed with accepting them. So I wasn't really worried about it. I just hated the fact that I had to do it, and it pissed me off. But it was like Zach said, when I was having to face the decision, deciding to do it wasn't hard. It was an easy decision just to be able to ensure that I am not going to be the cause of even more stress on my wife, because now I've got to go find another job. Now I'm making even less money, and we're even harder to make our bills. So it was an easy decision to just say, fuck it, there's the exemption. It's not. That's not a hill I need to die on. Of all the hills for me to die on, that's not going to be the one. I wanted to have a skirmish, though. You know, I didn't need to die on it, but by God, I wanted to at least put up a little bit of a fight. So there was that. And then yesterday, Dixie's work comes back and says, so our two drafters that we have are both about to retire, and they're going to retire within a year of each other. Would you be at all interested in taking over the drafting department?
What?
Yeah. To which she said, well, yes. So within the next 2 weeks, she's going to start to transition. She's going to float, because she is still admin, and they've still got to hire another admin. But there's stuff that she does that her office manager doesn't do. And I mean, she does tech support and marketing and all kinds of shit that most admins aren't going to be able to do. So they've got to hire her, and she'll float back and forth and just help out wherever she's needed. But yeah, she will be.
You know what gets me about that?
What's that?
When you have somebody covering 2 jobs or whatever, and they're floating, like, all right, you can't maybe pay them 2 salaries, right? Because those are 2 different people that should be working those jobs. But you think they'd at least give you a quarter or half of that other salary that you're covering that fucking job?
Yeah. No, they are. She's getting $1.50
I mean,
an hour increase right off the bat, and she'll be making
is that good?
an extra $1.50 an hour. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
take whatever you're making now and add another $1.50 an hour to it.
All right, so I'm making 0 per hour,
right?
so
add $1.50, right? Add the $1.50 to that, and that's how much more money you would have.
Right. It's like Tom Hanks. In A League of Their Own, so that would be more. Or no, not Tom Hanks, the recruiter. Remember the guy when he was out recruiting the chick? He was going for Marla Hooch. And he gets the 2 girls in the beginning, and he says something. He goes, "That would be more."
John Lovitz.
Yeah, John Lovitz. Yeah,
he was great in that movie. Oh man,
that was an outrageous movie. But anyway, so she's back on track. Like, you guys are going to recover.
She's not only back on track within 5 to 7 years. 7 to 10. She's likely to double what she's making now.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's real good chance that she could do an extra 100% of that salary within 10 years. She's been there 8 years.
So does that mean you're gonna? I was gonna make a bad joke, but then fuck it, right? It's Jonathan from Jersey.
Yeah,
so you're gonna have a white Christmas?
Right straight through New Year's.
Huh?
Said right straight through New Year's.
I have one, but I'll save it for after the show.
Lines and lines and lines of cocaine. No, I meant it's not how I meant the whiteness.
Oh, gotcha. Well, then I'm confused. Then now I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What were you gonna say, Zach?
I was wondering if she might be getting some type of necklace, maybe.
Gotcha. A little congratulatory, right? Well done.
ZZ Top, baby.
Oh, we're horrible.
That's funny. Why are we even talking about Dixie? It's his wife. Well, I'm happy for you. That's good. That's awesome.
Have
you snow yet, Jonathan?
What's that?
Have you seen any snow yet?
Actually, no. Yeah, a couple flakes came down like 3-4 days ago. It got really blustery out and all that. It didn't last, like it's been unseasonably warm, I guess, but so it was a surprise, but it was nice. Yeah. Why, did you get it down there?
No, not yet. I'm hoping this may be the first year of my life I don't see snow. We'll see.
I don't know what to believe anymore. I mean, I know it's not as cold as it used to be because, our rivers used to freeze over and we'd have, ice skating and ice boats, races, and you name it. But I don't know if I believe in global warming. There's a lot of other things they're doing to the environment between chemtrails and HARP and all that other crap. But who knows?
We are so insignificant on a scale compared to what like a volcano puts up into the air. Erupting.
Oh, yeah.
That puts out more, of these dangerous gases than we could even do if we were trying to make as much of these gases.
Well, you know how they always go on about all the shipping, these big shipping boats with the containers and all the cars and everything else like that. They said when Mount St. Helens went off, that put more pollution in the air than anything man had done in the past 100 years of the industrial age.
Exactly.
Every factory, everything.
Yeah. One giant. And what do we have right now? This year alone, there was like 13 active volcanoes all at the same time.
Well, La Palma's, like the one in the Canary Islands, supposedly it slowed down then, and all of a sudden it started burping out lava. Like, it was active again the other day. And they said, no, you should, if it starts burping, then you're in trouble because that's when the methane starts, it could get ready to whatever.
Yeah, it builds up, and if it gets stuck, then it's going to explode. Yeah.
And if La Palma goes the way they say it is, then that's going to be some serious shit for the East Coast. So,
God,
hey, what's
robins. They have hundreds of robins that are hanging around this year, like the Blue Jays do.
What do you mean? What does that indicate?
Robins always usually they'll migrate somewhat. I mean, we would see robins pretty much all throughout the winter up in Indiana, but a lot of birds, you know, they head to a little bit warmer climates. And yeah, I saw a blue jay here yesterday, I think.
Huh.
Well, that's going to do it for segment 1, fellas. I think that's that's pretty well it. Commercial should be hitting any minute now.
That was fast.
It's crazy.
I was going to say real quick. I know persimmons, the fruit or whatever. I found a tree, you know, that has them up here in Jersey, and they were just about ripe, you know, to pick. But if the seed is like a shovel shape when you crack it in half, if it's like flattened, and then it means snow. But if it's more round, it means, I guess, you know, it'll be warmer.
Yep.
And they all started looking like shovels. So who knows?
Well, just great. Anyway, this is the Ironworks right here on Truth Frequency Radio. Stick around. We'll be right back after these brief messages, hanging out with Jonathan from Jersey.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. September 2018. Extendivite works in keeping my blood pressure in the normal range. I've been using Extendivite for many years now. May 2018. Great product. I use regularly and I rarely get sick. March 2018. This product has relieved what appeared to be angina pain in my chest and shortness of breath after climbing stairs. I'm quite happy about it. February 2018. My husband, son, and I have been using this product for a few months now, and we have noticed an improvement in our joints and blood pressure. Tell us your story. Get Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the Live Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Greetings, Earth Explorers. My name is Brooks Agnew, and I am your host on X Squared Radio every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. This is where the past meets the future. We explore the mysteries of the universe and of the Earth. We might go a little past your imagination, but have no fear. You will be safely traveling with us. We will dissolve the propaganda of dangerous people with dangerous plans for the planet. We will discuss the latest technologies and challenges for humankind. We will discover the safest place for you to stand when the thinkings and doings of mankind come flying apart, and how you can be one of the people that helps put it back together. Join us.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR Frequency Radio.
struck. But if you know what I'm thinking, you'll know that pop country really sucks. So I'm here to put the deck in Dixie and the car back in country. Cause the kind of country I'm hearing nowadays, it's a bunch of fucking shit to me.
And welcome back. Little Hank Williams, the third there for you, putting the dick in Dixie. Completely unrelated to anything we've been talking about.
Wait, what?
It's just a little song.
Dick and Dixie.
Jesus Christ. Hey, did you know yesterday was a palindrome day?
I did. I had it marked up, thinking it was today.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Was it what?
It was more than just a palindrome. It was something else. What the fuck is it called? Because it doesn't just read left to right and right to left, but if you flip it upside down, it still reads right to left and left to right. It's,
I thought it's boobs or something.
No, it was like one. It was how did you have to write it? Like 1202-2021, and then backwards same.
And if you flip it upside down, it would still be the same too.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's what. It's not just a palindrome. It's something else. I forget what the fuck is it called. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Huh.
But yeah, like the palindrome goes left to right. You can read it backwards and forwards. But this one, because you can flip it upside down, it still reads left to right and right to left.
Oh, like Zach was saying, like the word boobies on a calculator.
Or boob.
Right, 6006.
8.
008.
Oh, is it 8008?
Yeah, that's Rick on Rick and Morty. Those are like all of his passwords for all of his stuff. It's either boobs or it's equal D.
Right.
8 == D. That'll be like his password.
Well, do you know why the ultimate answer is 42? Like in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Mm-mm.
So like in basic programming. Is the equivalent to what?
We had
lost you there.
We just got for
lost you at basic programming.
Yeah, you just cut out first. Yeah.
Oh, my phone cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on a second. So yeah, and I posted on my wall the other day. It was really interesting because I'm like, how did I not know this? And basically, 42 means everything. Like it actually means the pound sign, which translates to everything. So, it's basically like life is what you make it. So when they say, what's the ultimate answer in life? Hold on, I'll read it to you. It's actually makes more sense if I read it because I'm messing it up.
Thank you to Robert Page in chat. Sorry.
What's that?
So Robert Page in chat helped me out, saved me a little bit there. It's an ambigram. AMBIGRAM. Ambigram.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Front to back, back to front, and upside down.
Oh, guess what I found the other day? I was digging through my file. Actually, this afternoon, yesterday, I found that picture I made of Patricia Steer, the one that turned her into a spy.
I think I do remember vaguely.
Yeah, it's on my Facebook. Go down like 5 posts and you'll see it. And I started laughing at myself. I was like, I put this out here just as a joke. Like I was bored one day. I was talking with Mark, and while
and we lost you again.
What?
We were talking to Mark, and then wow, and that was all we got.
I'm sorry. I was talking to Mark, and as I'm talking with him, I was just messing around in Photoshop, and we're talking, and then all of a sudden I sent him the photo, and he goes, "Oh my god!" He starts laughing his ass off because you did not. I was like, "Let's see where this goes." And I remember when I met her at that time, I asked her. I said, Miss Steer, huh? I said, Patricia Steer. She goes, yeah. I said, what happened? I was like, misinformation was already taken. All right, let me read this to you because this is really clever. So the true meaning of 42, okay? In the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the supercomputer Deep Thought is built by a race of hyper-intelligent alien beings to determine the answer to life, the universe, and everything. All right, Deep Thought determines that the answer is somewhat anticlimactically 42. It sounds like a joke, but there's more to it. Okay. So here it is. All right. Douglas Adams was an unabashed computer nerd and knew a heck of a lot about programming, language, and coding. So in programming, an asterisk is commonly used to translate as whatever you want it to be. So in ASIC language, right, it's the most basic computer software. 42 is a designation for an asterisk. So the computer, deep thought, was asked, what is the true meaning of life? You know, what was it? And the answer is, as a computer would, 42, anything you want it to be. Genius.
I like that.
Me
Yeah.
too. That is good.
So now it makes sense.
And yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is it? Who gave the ambigram?
Robert Page.
Page, thank you.
So wait,
learned
how many
something
other
before 6 a.m. today?
how many other words are ambigrams? Does it give any examples?
I don't know. And then Capalicious 420 puts in, oh, Black Betty, ambigram, oh, Black Betty. Yeah, that's great. I haven't heard that song in a while.
Did you hear have you ever heard the original?
He does say something like that, doesn't he?
I think it says Ram.
Oh, okay.
But I like ambigram better.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to be singing it from now on.
I know, right?
I ran across a Facebook post that I don't.
Chat. How is Walter doing?
Ooh, good question, Scott.
He made it through with no, hiccups or anything. Wednesday, he had all his work done, and now it's just the healing process, folks. So send Walter some good, loving, healing vibes. Just face towards southern Louisiana and send your thoughts that way, even if it's just 5 seconds. He'll appreciate every little bit that you could send him. He said he's doing all right. He's in high spirits. It could have been the drugs they gave him, but yeah, no, he's doing all right.
He's not going to be able to eat for a while, right? We should send him some like everlasting gobstoppers and stuff.
Well, yeah, he was getting himself ready for this, doing the whole liquid, getting on like a liquid type diet before this to get his body used to it.
Right.
So he's been preparing for it. It wasn't like a spur of the moment spring on you. He had some time, so he's being smart about it, getting his body ready for it.
Well, that's good.
So, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. So he's gonna pull through. Yeah, it's gotta suck though. Mouth pain is horrible. That's the worst.
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, it's so hard to keep your mouth from moving, like especially when you're sleeping. That's the worst when you wake up because you have a searing mouth pain all of a sudden. Yeah. Nope, he's gonna be all right though. Just some healing needs to be done. I don't know if we're ever gonna hear Walter the same. This should be interesting. I've been thinking about that a lot.
Didn't even consider that. That's a really good point. We may never hear Walter the same way again.
What do you mean?
Well, he's going to be talking completely different.
Well, no, he'll still have an accent and everything, won't he?
I mean,
well, yeah, but
no, he's going to be. I'm pretty sure he speaks French now.
Well, it depends. It depends what kind of teeth they gave him. If they gave him like gold bling and stuff, he might be all like ghetto and shit.
Right?
Yo, Walter's up in the house. I got me a new grill. And I don't mean for cooking gator.
Turns out all they had in Louisiana were the wooden ones, but he swears he did not cut down that cherry tree.
That's funny.
He did not have wooden teeth.
They were like regular ivory or something, like normal.
Yeah. Why would they teach us something like that?
Because the same reason they taught us that he was so honest that he fessed up to cutting down the cherry tree. Another story that has no verifiable basis in truth.
Right. I hope. I mean, wait. So wait, did Walt get like new teeth and everything, like
Not yet.
dental implants or something? Or?
He's working on.
Oh, okay.
First step is removing the old ones before you get to new ones.
Gotcha.
So that's where he is now. That's why we'll probably never hear Walter the same way again, because his mouth will never be the same way as it was.
I'll tell you what, man. Going to Florida, you see some funky ass teeth, man. I got a friend who's a plastic surgeon. You know, and he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. He's like the most positive guy I know. But his effing teeth are so white, like when he smiles, like all you see are teeth. Like it's so white, and they just don't look real. But you know, being in Florida, you're gonna see all these different types of teeth, right? Because all these old people are getting different teeth. And you know, some people that can't afford good ones, like you know, they got these big ass chiclets in the front two teeth. You know,
yep.
And it's just like, you know, if you're gonna get teeth, at least get somebody who actually makes them look real. Like you know, they'll even I know when you get veneers and stuff like that, they'll even match it to like whatever level of stain or, you know, that you have in your current teeth. Because if they're too ultra white, I mean, it just looks fucking ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, you know, bleach white, like white out.
Yeah, my plant manager at my old job, his teeth look like that. Like he bleached them every single day.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
See, that's obnoxious. When they look like the connective tissue inside your body, so it's got almost that blue hue to it. You know, you're just a little off. That's just not right. When it looks unnatural, you probably should just back off.
You know what's funnier though? When you ever see girls that like they don't know how to use filters in Photoshop, and they'll whiten their eyes, and they look like those friggin' those aliens from Stargate, from the movie Stargate, where their eyes are glowing and shit.
Yep, I know what you're talking about. No, I didn't use any filters. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't use any filters. Like, wait a minute, your face looks like silly putty, and your fucking eyes look like
looks like a light bright.
I put Vaseline on my lens.
Oh my God, some girl, this girl I was supposed to shoot last week, drop dead gorgeous. She's in her 20s, and she was playing with filters on whatever app she was using. And she's like, don't be phony, ladies. Like, you don't have to use these filters. But it made it look like she had all fillers and everything. Like, it exaggerated her lips, her cheeks. And I'm like, oh, my God. She looks like one of these chicks from Miami. And she's from Miami, you know? I was like, please don't ever do that to yourself. She goes, I'd never. But, you know, they start to get, like, that Joker look or whatever.
Yeah.
Do excessive plastic surgery.
It's almost as though it's the look that people go for. For some reason, that sort of that ultra plastic, over Botoxed, non-reactive, this is how a real actress is supposed to do it. With no emotion. And it's like everywhere you look. They take women that are in their 30s. What's the show I was watching? It might have been A Million Little Things or one of those mainstream emotional shows that Dixie was watching, and I'm pretty sure that it was the teenage daughter in one of these shows that they just Botoxed the shit out of. But other than wanting her to look like she's been Botoxed, what would be the point of Botoxing young women?
Well, you need bigger lips and bigger cheekbones. Hear that.
Yeah. Did I get cut off there mid-sentence?
It might have been pre-mid-sentence because I'm not sure I heard the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Somebody was trying to call me on my phone and whatever. I can't do two things at once.
I can barely do one thing at once.
Right.
That being said, Jeremy, I want to
anything.
know more in chat. Wanted to know if he could call in. And I was sort of in the process of trying to type out a response of, yes, I've already got the call-in line opened and pulled up, and I can see it right now. So feel free to call in and still carry on the conversation. And like I said, I can barely do one thing at once. So I didn't make it very far into the response and have just been sitting here listening. So take that for what it's worth. So yes, Jeremy, you can call in. I've got both the flat line somewhere open. Yes. And I've got TFR's call board open as well. So if you want to call in, our listener call-in number is 213-233-3998. Or you can call toll-free at 1-833-TFR-LIVE. Or if you are so inclined, you can also use our Iron Realm Media's call-in line, our flat line, which is area code 304-503-3528, which spells flat for what it's worth. That's why we call it the flat line. Oh, wasn't Jeremy? Sorry. See, this is what I get. Like I said, I can barely. Scott wants to call in. Sorry, I'm looking. It was the one right above I Want to Know More's post. Scott Level Realm would like to call in. But yes, phone lines are open. Feel free to call away. Call away, Merrill. Call away.
So I came up with a new test, Jonathan.
What's up?
On showing how the Earth is not a spinning ball. And I think this is, yeah, it has to do, I came up with this a few years ago and put out a video, but I don't think people quite understood it, you know? So I put it out again this last weekend. And like if you're standing on a globe and you're watching the sun or moon, or if you're standing just here on Earth, you know, and you're looking up at the sun and the moon throughout the day or night, they'll both kind of wagon wheel through the sky. You know, they don't rotate like a top. They look more like you're looking down at the top, and they'll rotate as they're going across the sky. Were you aware of that?
No, wait. Describe this again.
Okay, so if I'm taking a picture of the sun and I'm at like 45 degrees north.
Okay.
As it's coming around, I take a picture and say there's 2 sunspots on it that are lined up. Well, when that gets directly south of me, because our rate of rotation away from the pole is different, like their axis is right on the pole and mine's at 45 degrees. So the amount of rotation that you're going to see on the sun because of you turning, it's not so much the sun and moon are turning, it's that we have to turn to see them as they arc around us. So if you were right on the equator, if you're right on the equator and the sun's coming up to you, you're going to see it in one direction, but now you have to turn 180 degrees and look the other way as it passes over. So it looks like the sun turned 180 degrees to your perspective.
Holy moly.
So the north and south should be the exact same. According to the globe model, we would see it would get 180 degrees at the equator and then it would go down to 0 at the poles. So if you're standing on the North Pole or the South Pole, it should be 0 amount of rotation because you're looking at it from its polar axis.
All right, I got one. I want to put to rest because I like this, and I want you to send me information on that so I can study it. What the fuck is this banana nose doing?
Damn,
holy
Zach,
shit.
that's really good.
What?
The idea of standing at the North Pole, there should be 0 rotation because there'd be no reason for it to rotate?
On a flat Earth?
On either. On the globe or the North Pole works the same. But if we go south of the equator, the globe model doesn't start breaking back down to where it gets less and less. So you see a different amount of rotation. You don't even have to go to Antarctica, the pole. We could go to 45 degrees south. And if the rotation is the same as north, then we're not on a ball.
Right, but what's the argument that some people use? And they're saying, you know, if the globe on a globe Earth, it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour or some kind of bullshit like that, right? And I broke it down, right? There's and this is only for the globe model. If there's 24,901 miles at the equator, divided by 24, you get your 1,037.54 miles per hour, right, per time zone. But then each time zone is actually moving. When you divide that, right, per minute, it's like 17.292 miles per hour per minute. And if you break that down into miles per hour per second, it's 0.2882 miles per hour per second. So in actuality, you're only moving per second 7.4 inches. So you wouldn't feel it. right?
I don't know. I've never been on a moving object. Moving.
Well, but here's the thing. Now, this is what I'm saying. Like to scale, like if you're on a what do you call it? Those little merry-go-rounds like you have at a kids park? You don't need to go that fast because the diameter is so small that if you spin it, like you ever see these idiots? They'll take like a moped, lay it on its side, and use the back wheel to spin it.
I don't
What's
see
that?
why anybody would do that. That is so dumb. And I loved stupid shit like that when I was younger.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't do that.
No, you'll get hurt really badly. Like you'll probably break your neck or an elbow or something, but you're going to get flung off that thing so quick from the centrifugal force, like accelerating that quickly. Now, of course, to scale, just like when you have pulleys, like pulling up, like, like if you add like 6 or 8 pulleys, you can pull an engine right out, no problem. A little kid could pull on that chain.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
the ratio's so great. What's that?
I said, yeah, it's nothing to pull on those chains.
Right, and you'd have to like put a lot of torque. So like we used to do the same thing with Lego, like when you build the Lego cars, and if you put more sprockets in, but then if you like actually put like something on the end of it, like a drill, like a power drill with some duct tape, you could spin that thing up. But when you get to the final gear, it's like it's barely moving, right? It's moving as slow as like a clock dial. So ratios and anyway. I personally think that this whole flat Earth globe model thing, like the arguments over even the concave Earths and all that, I really believe that it's interdimensional in scope, that we're trying to apply the standard laws of, whatever we measure things with, including physics. But I think this is way beyond that. I think the whole model is, as we're finding out, just like, what do you call it? Waves or particles. I personally believe that the model of the Earth changes based on the perspective and the distance you are from it. I know that sounds like a cop-out, but there's just too many variables when you start going into, again, what we call space. These ideas of gravity waves, red shift, blue shift, you know what I'm saying?
Did you hear
really
red shift, blue shift, what they found out?
No.
Now this is MIT, and then they sent up a bunch of satellites, right, to verify this.
Is this recent?
Yeah, it was like 2018, 19, I think. They verified it.
Okay.
But we are the center of the universe. That's what came back. With all their data collected and this and that and yada, yada, yada.
Their data. People off.
That background microwave radiation or whatever it is that they sent out and mapped out everything. Realize that everything extends in exactly the same distance from us. Everything is measured at we are the center. Yeah. They measured it and it's the same distance all around in every direction.
All right. So, I mean, that kind of proves the sense, if that's true, right? Then it proves that there is a creator, whether you want to call it God or whatever. I believe in God personally.
No, Nathan, you're missing. We're just lucky and we're in a unique position. Even though that's possible and they try to avoid that, they're at least admitting now we're in a unique position. There is no God. Come on.
We got 2 minutes before we get the break.
To be the center of the universe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happens as flip of a coin, about 1 billion.
I didn't know that.
2 minutes before we hit the break, and we do have Scott calling in.
Play the sound effect. Play the one from Austin Power where she yells, Scott!
I don't think I have that one. You should have let me see. If I'd have known, if I'd have thought about it, I could have had it pulled up. No problem.
All right.
Release the media.
But I do believe we have Scott joining us. Good morning, Scott. How you doing? And I hope he hasn't fallen asleep.
Find that sound clip, man. Maybe he'll call back like after the break.
Maybe so. We do have that break coming up, but I do have him unmuted. So I will mute him for the break, but I will see if I can't find that real quick and get it loaded.
But yeah, if there's anybody in south of the equator around 45 degrees, 40, I think Santiago, Chile would be around perfect. We just need someone with a camera that can zoom in a little bit, enough to see a sunspot, and a solar filter. If you have those, you go out and just take pictures from, a couple hours before midday to a couple hours after, get about 5 shots. One at 10, 11, 12.
I'm going to tell you what I think after the break.
All right, perfect. And maybe we'll be able to hear from Scott. Oh, no, not Scott. Interesting. Look at me just screwing the pooch left and right. This is the Ironworx. Stick around. Second half, right after this.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher Everard Show, The Covert Report with Susan Lindauer, Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barnes, Freaky Friday with The Woo Crew, The Gematria Effect with Zachary Hubbard, America's Evil Genius with Travis Cook, Phoenix Rising Radio with Phoenix, Quantum Connections with Lucky, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR Live. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
The Weather Channel unveils its Las Vegas casino. It's the Onion Radio News. This is Doyle Redland reporting. Cable TV giant The Weather Channel announced plans today to bring the excitement of flood watches and tornado warnings to Las Vegas by opening the world's first weather-themed casino. The Grand Advisory will be the first gaming facility ever to allow patrons to bet on the outcome of the weather in major cities across the world. Weather Channel spokesperson Claude Bollinger.
Occasionally, a tornado or hurricane alert will sound, forcing customers to evacuate to a basement casino where they can continue gambling in safety.
Bollinger went on to say that the Grand Advisory hopes to sign singer Celine Dion to an exclusive long-term contract despite her legendary fear of sleep. Several days after losing his way in the Manistee National Forest, nature guide Mark Denton just totally forgot which plants are edible and which are poisonous. Rescuer Mick Fanner found the longtime outdoorsman clinging to life and crippled by diarrhea after consuming a handful of bad berries.
Mark knows how deadly some wild plants can be, but he just spaced on it.
Denton was reportedly rescued moments before he was about to consume a heaping pile of deadly mushrooms and poison ivy, garnished with Lyme disease-infected ticks and God knows what else. After years under the stifling influence of the Disney Corporation, the company behind The Incredibles and Toy Story, Pixar Films, announced they are moving in a bold new direction with the release of their new film, Blood Snack Circus, which, according to executives, should totally screw with kids' heads. The movie will feature beloved Pixar characters Buzz Lightyear and Flick the Ant as they form a ragtag gang that does little but ritually abuse children. To enhance the movie's theatrical release, Pixar technicians have developed a mind-altering 3D screening technology that makes children truly believe their parents are.
Wherever you are, make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Yeah. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, I'm afraid of course, there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard. To think really hard.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
For you.
Welcome back to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We are sans Walter this morning, but we do have our good buddy Jonathan from Jersey hanging out with us. Just, you know.
And I'm driving past south of the border right now. It's all lit up, fireworks, all that good stuff.
All right, let me try this again, because I do believe, and I never did find it because I had to go get coffee and such. I started, but I'm just, like I said, I can barely do one thing. But good morning, Scott. How are you doing this morning?
Scott, what's up?
What's up, Scott?
I see him there, and I know he is unmuted.
You hear me?
There we go. Good morning, Scott. How you doing?
You hear me?
Yep. We hear you.
That was my. Did you say south of the border?
Yeah.
Well,
on 95.
You mean like that place that like on South Carolina, like right there where the you stay at the hotel.
Yep.
South of the border, Pedro says. You're talking about that place?
Yep. Why, you near there?
Really? Well, no. I used to drive through there, and I said, "Let's stop there." Like, it's like I'm talking about, back in the 90s,
Yeah. It reminds me of
Jonathan. By the way,
what's up?
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say that like you're from Jersey, right?
Yes.
It's weird. Can you hear? And you were living in Florida. You were, because people used to call me Jersey because I was from Pennsylvania, Scranton, right? How far are you from Scranton?
Maybe 95 miles, I think. That's right beyond Easton, right?
Like in that area.
Yeah.
Scranton's like right on the border over there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like you were in Florida, like you were in like what, Lauderdale?
Oh man, I was all over. I was in Melbourne. I was in Lauderdale. I was down in Miami and Homestead, to the Keys for a while. So yeah, even in Naples.
Naples, and I was in Tampa, like St. Pete area. But like you're talking about Florida, like you're like, I got to get out of here. Like, right? You were talking about that, like because you left, right?
Yeah, I needed a sobriety check. I needed a sobriety check, so I came up to Jersey for a couple weeks.
Oh, you're going back? Are you going to go back down?
Well, no, I'm on the road right now. There's been like a crazy change of, like circumstances, and now I'm actually driving through the night. I had 3 hours of sleep last night, but when I got this call to come down, I just got all amped up, and so. First it was like, let me just get past Washington, D.C. But now I'm all the way down here. So,
you seem way more energetic than you were on the other shows. But anyway, I want to talk to Josh, the creator of the show, right? Josh, hello.
Creator is probably not the best word, but yeah, I'm here.
Well, I was thinking about something. I'm off topic here, but I was thinking about your your boys. Remember the boys you had to kill, right? This is way tangent time.
The boys.
Remember you were talking about
yes, I remember the boys I had to
killed
kill.
like a few. Yeah, the boys you had to kill, right?
Uh-huh.
The plants.
Yep.
But so I was thinking about I remember though, can't you flower them and you see how you can flower them first and then you can know that they're male or female and then
sure
and just kill them. That's what I used to do. You know what I mean? I was wondering why you didn't do that, because you were like, oh, there was 5 you grew them for a while, they became plants, and you're like, oh, I have to kill the
boys,
right?
Yeah. And there was definitely a way to do it. I could have just taken some cuttings and popped some clones off and got some clones rooting, and then just planted those clones and given those clones a couple of weeks to get situated in soil. And then once they were, situated, I could just take them then and put them right under those 12 and 12 lights, and that would put them into flower. Just the little tiny clones.
Yeah.
But those little tiny clones I would be able to determine one way or the other, but they were male or female. Yeah, I definitely could have done that. I just didn't have the cloning solution or even the cloning lights to get it done, or the cloning station. I mean, you could probably slow propagate them like my wife does with her plants upstairs, and just, stick them in some water and cross your fingers and hope for the best. And after, 30, 45 days, you might start to get some roots. But to actually get them cloning and get those roots flowing in a week, 2 weeks, like you should with a cloning station, so that you can just pop them right into dirt and then into flower. That way you can determine whether your plant is male or female without having to waste 4.5 months growing them. Yeah, that would have been awesome. And I totally.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You can see you can put them into flower and then see if they, what they are. They're what do you call it? Their genetics or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
they're male or female.
Yeah.
Oh, are we allowed to say that?
I think so.
But
no chromophobes around here.
Hey, weren't you talking about growing with a magnet or something in the bottom of the pot?
Yes. I didn't do it on this last run with the autos, just because I kind of wanted to see what the autos would do. I had no idea how these autos are going to grow to begin with, so it's hard for me to say one way or the other. But it seems like that first run I did, I think I did hit the seeds. Ken Wheeler style. I did treat the seeds a little bit with the magnets.
Yeah.
When they were sprouting, when I popped them, and a little bit beforehand. But it is one of those things I definitely want to do. I have small little button magnets, and there's good, because I got a pile of them. They came in a nice big long string of magnets for me, but not terribly effective, I think, for using in the garden that way. However, if you do mix them with some duct tape,
can I ask you a question? You
can make a really cool closure for your doors and your grow tent. No, it's all right. Yeah, go ahead.
I've looked into this magnet thing. I remember you talking about it, and Zach talked about the watering with magnetic. I looked into all of this, and I kind of feel, in my opinion, that I think we're messing with nature. As far as I think totally. LC would agree. Where I think that what we should do is we should use our surroundings and our nature and not mess with it that much. Well,
how would I find out if my plants were boys or girls?
Idea.
How would I know if my plants were boys or girls without growing them out for 4.5 months? I'd like to be able to find out early. Maybe I want to get me a cloning station and start fucking with Mother Nature and just pop off one of them things and get them in a cloning station and clone it and figure out and veg it way early. And then if it turns out it's a female, I can just put that bitch back under different lighting and turn her back into the veg cycle.
Yeah.
And get her big again until I'm ready to flower her after she's already nice and big. Then put her back under the 12 and 12. But that's really kind of fucking with nature, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was just talking about the magnetics, though. The magnetic water and magnetic underneath the, when you put the magnetics under the plant.
Right. I mean, it is.
That's what I was talking about.
But it's the same concept.
Nature doesn't do that.
Well, nature doesn't use cloning propagations to be able to put a plant into flower to find out what sex it is, and then re-veg it so it gets big, and then puts it back in.
Yeah, you're right.
You see, so I mean, we can fuck with nature. It's not like we're using anything unnatural. These are all still natural things that we're doing here. We can fine tune.
Yes.
We can enhance. I mean, anything beyond taking a handful of seeds and throwing them on the dirt outside and crossing your fingers. Anything beyond that is fucking with nature.
I like that.
Indoor gardening, fucking with nature. I mean, nature doesn't grow shit in the dark.
Right. I mean, I know.
The salt nutrients, the bottle-based nutrients that I grow with, and I mean, not natural. But what it does, if you can fine tune it, you can get the best out of that particular cultivar, that strain. You can make it ideal. You can let it go naturally, or you can make that natural process as efficient and effective as possible by fucking with the nature of what.
You know what, Josh? I had a plant and I fed it blood and it started talking and shit. Next thing you know, we were doing musicals together.
Well, that's because you didn't teach it to shut up. That's because you're weak. You're an enabler. You just went into enable your plant. Just because he says feed me doesn't mean you feed him. You don't keep feeding him blood.
Feed me, Jonathan.
I love the plant talk, dude.
And we're back to the dentist.
I can always count on you guys, man. That's what I love about you. That's why I come back to this show. You get all the references.
That's why I'm telling you, dude. I could forget every show out there. I love watching Bob's Burgers and Archer. And it's because I think that the writers are all right around my age. And they're always referencing stuff from the late 80s to the 90s, like mid-90s.
That's funny.
If you didn't live in that time, you don't get, 5% of the jokes from those two shows. You just don't get them. Yeah, and I love it. It was like, made for people my age. It's perfect.
Bro, you want to hear something funny? Now that you mentioned that, when I was in the library today, we're sitting in this really quiet area, right? We're like in little cubicles. It's me, these two girls, and this one kid comes in. He sits down, and we're thinking he's studying like anybody else. Ignore him. All of a sudden, through his headphones, you hear that song, "Ain't nothing gonna break my stride, ain't nothing gonna slow me down." I'm like,
ain't nothing gonna hold me down.
Yeah, we all turn around. We're looking at this kid, and like he's like fidgeting out of his effing chair. I don't know if he had autism. I don't know what the hell it was, but like, so we ignored it, right? We're like, hey, no judgment. But then the next song they came on, and I'm like, what does he have? Like his mother's like, favorite hits of your mom from the 80s. Like it was all that kind of music. I couldn't believe the shit that was playing through these headphones. And then this is the one that really cranked him up. The friggin' 1812 Overture starts playing. And I'm thinking, and this kid's literally giddy-apping in this fucking chair. Like I thought he was gonna go through the window. It was like, and I wanted to smack the headphones off his fucking head and give him some Adderall or something. Sorry.
I don't know. There's something about that classical music. You ever listen to classical music?
Yeah, he was just, it was the weirdest thing I've seen, and it was weird.
I listen to classical on occasion. It's not very often. I've got to really be in the mood. My brain doesn't usually run at a slow enough speed for that classical music to sort of absorb. It's usually got to be a little bit more up tempo to be able to jive with my brain.
Yeah.
Well, whenever I make a video, there's a website called Classical Cat, and it's
that's cool.
Hundreds of old composers and stuff like that, composers, done by professional symphonies and professional performers, and it's all free to download, copyright free, all that kind of stuff. It's a huge source of music.
What's the name of the site? What's the name of it?
Classical Cat.
Classical Cat. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, that's where I go to get all my music videos. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Zach, your music that you play during your videos is that's real classical music. And honestly, bro, it reminds me of my professor in FSU, college. It was marine biology, right? Marine biology class. He was a guy that taught me that there was the Coriolis effect doesn't work in the southern hemisphere. Like the toilets don't flush; they don't flush backwards, right? And he used to play classical music during our what do you call them? The tests, the exams, right?
Mm-hmm.
He would play during the exams, he would play classical music, like the way you play your classical music on your videos, right? Hello.
Yeah. I had a teacher.
And that guy was like,
oh, go ahead.
It just reminds me of what's his name? Everything is Electric. The guy that Walter Lewin, Sir Walter Lewin, whatever his name is. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually had a teacher. He was an art teacher, and I had taken ceramics and then advanced ceramics in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And he would either play classical music, or if he was all pie-eyed right after lunch, he'd come back and he'd play Bob Marley. So I always got into this thing where I just loved classical music like Josh said, though, it's at certain times when I'm being artistic and trying to pull out that art out of me, kind of, because when you go to school, ceramics was between this time and this time. So you had to be artistic at that time. Like when I'm video editing, even if I don't feel artistic, I'll put on some classical music in the background while I'm working. And it just helps. It really does.
You just remind me of when you said, sometimes he came back pie-eyed and he'd be putting on Bob Marley. I had a friend in high school in the 80s, and he used to dress like a member of like Motley Crue or Poison or, the hair bands and stuff. So our science teacher had a really bad drinking problem. And she came in one day, and we had turned on the Bunsen burners on the 4 stations, and we turned them up all the way full blast, and I lit them all. And there he is playing air guitar, giving the devil sign with his hand, and she's freaking the fuck out, And she's like, "Go to the principal's office!" But it looked awesome.
The Bunsen burners.
They were like shooting out into the aisles, and he's in the middle of it playing air guitar. It was fucking crazy.
That's why I didn't like science. We got to use the Bunsen burners one time.
Really? Well, no, this wasn't the Bunsen burners. This was like, we didn't have,
they never let us use them.
Yeah, we didn't. We just turned on the fucking nozzles, and I lit them all. I used the little,
the reason
thing.
I never got to play with them.
Hold on. How old are you, Jonathan?
49.
How old are you?
49.
Oh, you're old. Okay. So you're that age where they were like the kids in the school. I'm 44. And the kids in the school before me, like your age, they were burning everything. So that's why they didn't let us use the Bunsen burners, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. You ruined it for all of us. Bro.
Ruined it.
Let's be honest. If we'd had the access that Jonathan had, do you think we would have done anything differently? Or do you think we would have just ruined access for the next kids down the road because we were fucking around with the Bunsen burners? It's not our fault. We're fucking impressionable children, right? We're not old enough to give consent. You can't trust us with flames and gas lines and things like that and expect us not to explore and test the limits as children do. And then get pissed off about it. Oh my God, they're playing with the stuff we gave them. Yeah. Maybe not give children flammable objects.
We're all.
Yeah, no, it was fun back then.
Josh, by the way, Josh.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to say something. I heard you say, you know who Bubba the Love Sponge was?
Yes, I
wanted
do.
to tell you about this. You know,
BTLS.com.
Huh?
I said BTLS.com.
BTLS?
BTLS. Mm-hmm.
So you know who he is, right?
Oh, yeah. I know Bubba the Love Sponge.
Josh, right? Well,
not personally, but yeah.
I mean, I know, but you're not from Florida. You know what I'm saying?
I was a Howard Stern fan for a good long while. And when Howard Stern first went on to satellite, got off terrestrial radio, he started his radio thing and Bubba the Love Sponge was like his first outside DJ that he brought in for his little radio network thing that he was starting up.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like when I was a kid, you know, like I'm talking about, like, you know, you heard about him from Howard, but that's the thing, you know, like I know you like radio and like talk radio. That's what we're doing right now, right? Talk radio, whatever. Oh, you know, it's not radio anymore, but that really clicked with me. Like it's funny because, you know, like you do what you do, but it was just funny, like hearing you mention that. And like, I didn't know people know about that, but it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole, that Bubba and freaking, you know, Howard Stern, obviously. And then Bubba and, what's his name? The wrestler, you know,
Hulk.
What's Hulk Hogan, right?
Yep.
You know, the Hulk Hogan thing, like Hulk Hogan I used to go to high school. Honestly, I mean, it's weird, but like I used to like go to high school and see Hulk Hogan like working out, like, you know, go to this Gold's Gym place next door, and I used to live in that world in, you know, Tampa, St. Pete area, you know, in Florida, and that whole thing happened. It was a weird thing, but it was just funny that you said that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I just like talk radio, and down there, like, that was like the talk radio mecca, you know, like.
Well, he made national headlines.
There was no like.
When he sacrificed the pig live on air, that was kind of a big deal nationwide. And because he's been kicked off multiple radio stations and gotten fired from multiple gigs because
I know
he's, you know, being extreme, trying to push it like Howard Stern does. So I remember the headlines of him sacrificing the pig or doing whatever it was there live on the air.
Yeah. Sorry, bro. Sorry for laughing.
No,
but yeah, I was there. I was literally there. Like, I used to like go to the radio station, like, like Spice Boy. Remember Spice Boy? That's the guy. Like, you don't say, like, you know who Spice Boy is, right?
Vaguely, it's been
the guy that like got him. I'm sorry, I'm on a mountain. It's breaking up. What?
No, you're fine. I said it's been a hot minute since I've even thought about Bubba the Love Sponge, and we've only got about 90 seconds though. So, yeah, if you're losing your connection, and we're going to be hitting a break.
No, I'm good.
Right on.
It's all good.
Yeah, I have not heard or thought of Bubba the Love Sponge in a hot minute.
Yeah, never.
No, I heard you mention it.
Yeah, I don't know any of. I mean, I was a talk radio guy, but I was more political talk radio. I never got into Howard Stern or any of that kind of stuff. When I was young, I listened to a guy named Man Cow out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a big one too.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to that guy, Tom Likas, the Tom Likas show?
That one does not ring a bell.
I don't know.
That guy was pretty hilarious. He was a good storyteller.
Yeah, I got into talk radio. I had a truck where the FM radio wouldn't work. It wouldn't come in. Something happened to the radio. So I just started listening to AM.
I mean, there could be good stuff on AM, but God, the reception. As if we're one to talk. Anyway, this is the Ironworks right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We'll be right back for the fourth final segment coming up right after these messages. Stick around. You never know what the hell is in store.
It's amazing how people have been raving about iAlife all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with iAlife, it's a 99% pure CBD oil, but the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with iAlife. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to iAlife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's iAlife.com, AYA life.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It's a great product. And the one thing I like about it the most is that when you open the bottles, you can smell like the scent of the fruits and veggies. It's no genius thing to it. It's really just fruits and veggies, which everyone needs. And you guys kind of put it in a way where you can take it easy and you can get it and it's natural. And that's what I like about it. You know, I like the product and, I've taken it, and it's definitely made me feel a lot better. You know, I am a healthy person to begin with, but it's definitely good prevention, and it's definitely gives me energy, and I feel like it's a natural thing. I like it. I really do.
For a limited time, use discount code TALK to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Again, use discount code TALK.
Dowsing is the ancient science of finding water and metal underground. Albert Einstein said that dowsing was tapping into earth energies which modern science as yet does not understand. Diamonds, silver, gold, and platinum objects have all been found using dowsing. And now, for the first time on film, we visit the pyramids, Stonehenge, and ancient sites, dowsing for buried treasure and tapping into this mysterious earth energy.
The Enigma Channel. Intelligent television for planet Earth. EnigmaTV.com.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
And welcome back. Fourth and final segment of the Ironworks kicking off right now.
Hope y'all are having a great start to your day, or midday, or evening for that matter. I know we have some people listening from all across the plane out there. Thank you so much.
I see our buddy JP in chat. And I don't know if JP got my comment, my reply to his comment that he put on the video from a couple weeks ago. But I'm really kind of hoping JP might have some time to hop on this evening and catch us up, let us know what's been happening, because I'm real curious. If you guys want to know anything more than that, you'll have to head on over to the dude, where's my placenta? Have no sphere. From 2-3 weeks ago. Jesus, I don't know. Like I said, it's a crapshoot as to whether or not I get the date right. And I didn't this morning either. Again, I was still thinking it was the 2nd. Oh yeah, I guess it is a different day now at 3 a.m.
It's Friday, my dudes.
My dudes.
So I just found this article, and it kind of pissed me off. So I'd like to talk about it.
Perfect.
Do it.
This is from fatherly.com. Never heard of them before. But a lot of the stuff they have comes straight out of the FDA and the CDC and stuff like that. And it's the article is titled "Check Your Pits." 17 deodorants have been recalled for chemical cancer risk. A chemical that's known to cause cancer was found at more than 9 times the upper limit. Then it goes on to say it's a good idea to go check, what kind of deodorant you're using. Over 30 different brands have been flagged as being potentially dangerous after a citizen's petition was filed with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration this month. One of the brands has since voluntarily recalled 17 of its products. They go on to say, and here's what you need to know. It's called benzene, benzene. A chemical that's known for causing cancer was reportedly found in over half of the 108 batches of deodorant, body sprays, and antiperspirants that were tested by Valisure. Never heard of them either. And the harmful ingredient was reportedly found in 30 different brands. So what is benzene? According to the U.S. Centers for Disease and Prevention, exposure to benzene over time can cause issues with the immune system, blood, bone marrow, which can include cancers like leukemia.
Isn't that like a paint thinner or something? Or no?
I'm not sure. Okay, here's what it says. It's used in the U.S. according to the CDC, but it's more common for dyes, detergents, lubricants, and rubbers. It's a class 1 solvent with unacceptable toxicity. It shouldn't be used in drug products, which antiperspirants typically are classified as according to CNET, while deodorants are classified as cosmetic products. So they say if it's unavoidable
Hello?
in
Can you hear me?
drug product.
We hear you, Scott.
Sorry. Zach, this is the kind of thing I've been, honestly.
Let me finish this real quick.
Sorry.
It's unavoidable to produce a drug product, right? If the use of benzene is unavoidable, the levels should be limited to 2 parts per million. Now, here's the kicker. It's important to note that benzene isn't needed to make deodorant sprays or antiperspirants. They don't need to put it in this shit at all for any reason whatsoever. So why are they?
How much are they putting in there? Like 20 parts per million?
Well, it's allowed to be 2 parts per million, and that's like the limit. And they're finding like Old Spice, their antiperspirant called Pure Sport contains 17.4 parts per million.
So they're trying to wipe out men's lymphatic system.
Yeah, Secret Powder Fresh reported around 16 average parts per million.
By the way, I like that shit because it's got aluminum in it and you don't sweat like a pig.
And all of these that tested at up to 2 parts per million is like Summer's Eve, Right Guard, Power Stick, Soft and Dry, Victoria's Secret. All of these have it in it. But the thing is, they don't have to put it in it. It's not part of the processing of making this stuff. They're just poisoning you to poison you.
So I wonder who makes the stuff. And if there's
Procter and Gamble.
I wonder if they offer any
What?
I'm just wondering if this could be part of a large business plan. In order
What do you mean?
Well, if you keep people sick, then they have to keep going to the doctor. And if you can pay the doctor enough money, he'll prescribe them your drugs that you make to make people better. Then you can take that money to make more products to make people sick, to make them go to the doctor, that make them get your products to make them better so that they can go home and use your products. So see, it's a business cycle. This is how you keep your shareholders happy.
Revolving door.
Otherwise, you go to jail because you're not maximizing profits. And that's your job, is to maximize profits for the shareholders. So you do whatever you can to maximize profits so the shareholders don't hold you liable. You got to make the rich man rich.
So yeah, they don't need to put it in at all for any reason whatsoever, but they do. Why? Now they give you a thing. Oh, if you want to get your money back for a product that has this in it, you can. No, I want to know why they're putting it in there. That's what I want to know. Why? Right. What is the purpose?
Why aren't they being held liable? Why aren't they being criminally prosecuted?
Yeah, what decided you to go grab a poison and let's put it into our product that wasn't needed in any way, shape, or form at all? Why? This is the stuff that people should get pissed off about. And when I would, tell my family this kind of stuff, it's like, oh, it's not that big. It's like, oh my God, what is wrong with you people? Stop defending these people. You don't know these people.
Who are you calling those people, you people?
No, those people are like my, my family, who will defend Johnson & Johnson to the death, Well, we've been using Johnson. My mother used Johnson. Yeah, and she died of cancer, right?
I mean, not for nothing. If you're not going to die until later in life anyway, like, you're meant to die at some point, then yeah, bring it on, If I'm guaranteed I'm not going to just have a stroke in my 30s, nobody wants to take that risk. But if you're not going to die till the end, you know what I'm saying? If how they're bullshitting everybody now with COVID, and no matter what you go in with, you get in a motorcycle crash and they mark it down COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So in the future, what am I trying to say here? If they say, instead of saying he died of natural causes, what are they going to say? Oh, he died of antiperspirant. You know what I'm saying? It took 50 years to kill him, but we found the culprit right here. It was this benzene.
This is why you don't get the science released. The long-term effects of mRNA-based vaccines, the long-term effects. They say, oh, well, we can't release those studies for another 55 years. Thank you very much.
Oh, did you see that shit? They didn't want any disclosure till 2077, I guess, until every last stockholder and everything else is dead.
I guess because there was some conflict of interest, because one of the shareholders, I think, was on the board of the FDA or something. There was some weird crossover conflict of interest. So that should give them a reason to withhold the findings for 55 years. But this is what they say, trust the science, because we're not going to give you the science for 55 years. So you just got to trust it, because you'll never know what it is. And in 55 years, do you think they're really going to be able to link it all back together? Not likely.
Right.
Not the way they change history. Rewrite it, whitewash it, rainbow wash it.
But yeah, I would like an answer. Why? Why are they putting poison in there? that should be the question people are asking. And whoever did it should be held accountable for it. You know, we have to start letting these people know this stuff isn't okay. It's not, you can't just go, we're sorry. Our bad. We didn't realize. Nah, bullshit. We can't let their little wizard talk fly anymore. We have to call bullshit for what it is. Yeah, I mean, they're poisoning everything. The food, the medicine, your everything.
I want to know more. It says, we already know why they put it in there. We've already talked about why they put it in there. It's the part of that big business model. They put it in there to keep a strong customer base on the other end of their product line.
Yeah, I know we know why, but the normies need to be asking these questions. They need to be getting fired up about this. It's not okay for people to poison us.
That's why they. How many of those aluminum or how many of those deodorants, antiperspirants, and body sprays also contained the aluminum?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's his name? Jonathan from Long Island was saying, or whatever.
You're funny.
You like that? That's pretty good. Yeah. I was just listening to it on, I think it was the Higher Side Chats. They had a guy on talking about the dangers of the introduction of metals into the medicine for humans and what this heavy metal toxicity is really doing to us, and why it's just been this constant vicious cycle that it's kept us in. And I think that you'll find probably a lot of those benzene containing deodorants will also contain the aluminum. So when you ask, why aren't they asking the questions? It's because they're using the deodorant that they should be asking about.
It's just infuriating.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Greg Carlwood and the Higher Side Chats. Greg Carlwood actually grew up right just down the street here, not too far from me, here in Jefferson County. This was actually where he is from, where his family still lives, is out here somewhere not too far.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. 5 minutes. 5 minutes of the emergency broadcast system control to every phone, every television, everything. Just 5 minutes. And then shut the whole thing down just for a couple days.
I like your style.
It would wake so many people up if they couldn't look to that idiot box for just 2 days, 3 days. I think we'd get a lot more people starting to ask questions.
Oh, yeah?
There's got to be a way to wake these people up. There just has to be. There's got to be some, small hat magic out there to break them out of this spell.
Dojo Earth. What we could do is we could make shit so uncomfortable and so obviously stupid. Like, what we'll do is we'll just start throwing a bunch of fucking worthless chemicals into their deodorants. And eventually somebody's going to fucking wake up and be like, dude, what the fuck? And he's going to start trying to wake other people up.
Huh.
That Dojo Earth. Old sensei is just smacking you in the head. You can keep getting smacked in the head, be like, he's just a dick. Or you can learn to defend yourself, where he smiles and nods approvingly. Ah, that's what I wanted. Someone awake, someone who can see what's coming. Yes, that's what I needed. Shout out to James Drew, because how else can you explain it? I don't know. I just don't know. Everything else just seems a lot like fear porn. I know that much.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's all fear porn.
Yeah. Well, let's There's a huge, horrible audio delay, I think, going on with the call-in line on TFR. I think maybe it might be wiser if we stuck maybe to the flat line tonight, or I'll just do the restream link if we have to. And I will message Chris and see about maybe see what we can do about the huge delay for this call-in line. But I want to thank Scott for calling in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, much love, Scott.
Right on.
You are there, Scott, too. You're unmuted. You should be able to talk if you wanted to, if you were so inclined. But
so yeah,
only got about 10 minutes left, 9 minutes left, and that's going to round us out for this Ironworx.
Yeah, read your labels, folks. Read your labels. Anything that says poly, starts with poly, don't get it.
And if she falls out the window and busts her legs, breaks her back, fucking leave her ass there.
Oh, wow.
How's that for a reference?
Yeah, the whole... just read your labels. If you don't know what something is, go look it up. See what it does. You've probably got a phone on you while you're standing right there. Pull it out. Go look up what's in there. Yeah, just poly anything, Voynich. Polyethylene, dimethyl glycol, whatever all the different ones are. Poly is pretty much plastic. It comes from oil that was pumped out of the ground. That's what plastic comes from. They've got us wearing it on our clothes. This was a Rockefeller thing. So we're going to put it in their food and their medicine. They're even going to be wearing it. That's polyester. Plastic.
It's crazy. It's hard to believe sometimes.
Yeah, most of those vitamins out there that you can go buy, most of them are plastic-based polymers that have been synthetically altered to mimic, a certain mineral or vitamin. So they move around these molecules, they say. I don't know how they do any of that stuff. That's what they claim. And it mimics the vitamin or mineral. So your body thinks it's getting it, but you're really not getting it. So that's good. Yeah, that sounds healthy. Let's trick our bodies. Yeah, go read your labels. That's all I can say. They tell you. I mean, they have to tell you, right? Well, they're telling you. Every tag, every ingredient section on a can or anything like that, they're telling you exactly what they're doing to you. That's why all the words are 10 letters or longer, because they don't want you to know what they're doing. Yeah, sorry, folks. That article got me when I read it, and it just put me in that mood. But it does appear the sun is coming around. It's starting to light up the ether over my head. I got one for you. Does the sun have to be hot? The actual sun? Do you think it's like a hot object? Because my Tesla coil, I light up bulbs and gases. My Tesla coil is hot. Ever. It stays room temperature. It actually even gets a little bit colder.
So when you light up a bulb with the Tesla coil gets cooler?
Mm-hmm.
And the sun is the bulb or the Tesla coil?
Well, the sun is the Tesla coil.
Okay.
And the only thing that's lighting up is the gas around it. That's what gets hot. I don't know if the sun's hot. I don't know if anything above our head gets hotter, ever. You know, they tell us above 70 something miles, you know, it starts getting hotter. But the furthest amateur thing is right around there. And if you go look at that rocket that went way up there, the Go Fast rocket, it was negative 272 degrees when it stopped going up. That's almost 0 degrees Kelvin. So I've never seen any data that says it gets hotter above our heads except for from NASA. So I don't know what happens up there. Does the sun actually have to get hotter, or is it just the gas is illuminating so much that that's what you feel, the heat from the gases being excited? Just throwing it out there. Yeah, I don't know. If it is just a big electromagnet, then I don't know. Maybe the focal point where we all see it, that's the real hot point. And the actual sun is just some type of electromagnetic energy source, kind of like a Tesla coil. Yeah, there's going to be a total eclipse tomorrow. I know it's supposedly for Antarctica, but parts of Australia, New Zealand, South America, I believe, I don't know about Africa, but they'll all be able to see a partial eclipse. But the total eclipse will be down in Antarctica. Wouldn't that be neat if they gave us some footage of that?
Oh, I'm sure they'll give us something. I'm sure somebody's going to have something from somewhere. Did Bob ever get a chance to take a look at that paper that I ran across on Tuesday morning?
I'm not sure. I hit him with a bunch of stuff Tuesday. We were finding all kinds of stuff Tuesday, but I'll ask him again today.
Yeah, would you please?
Yeah.
Just his opinion. I've not really had a chance to look at it any further myself, but it just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back on my stovetop.
Will do.
Shout out to Tommy, that flat fellow, for the super chat earlier in the show. And then shout out to Reperception there for another one. We really do appreciate it. You guys are really what kind of keeps us going. Any and all goodies and stuff we have is because of you guys. And all that shit gets dumped right back into the show. Like I said, we make very little here, and it's a safe bet that I've dumped far more money into this endeavor.
Wait a minute, you guys get paid?
Look, I just got a super chat. Sure do. Yep.
Nice.
You want your cut? I know there are people out there that'll be pissed.
No,
if they were here
no,
and
no,
like, look, I didn't get my 83 cents. I'll totally cut you in. Matter of fact, if you ever want to roll through St. Louis, I'll buy you dinner, fill your tank, and cut you in. Even still, cut you in. Get you your 83 cents.
You got a better chance of seeing God before you see me roll through St. Louis. It'll be a while, but no, I might be up that way. Who knows?
So
Yeah.
David in chat, DITRH, asked the question, do you think it matters where you are on Earth to get the energies from an eclipse? I think that's a great question. I don't know. You know, they say we get different energies from planets at certain times. Is it when they're close to the sun? When they're not close to the sun? I don't know. I mean, because they're always above our heads every single night. Each planet passes over us, each star. But why is it some affect us at some times? And, you know, I don't know. The whole astrology thing it's Greek to me. But I'd love to know more. That's going to about wrap it up.
Surely will. About 30 seconds. Jonathan, thanks for hanging out this morning. I'm glad you popped on.
Fun, man. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Safe travels on the rest of your journey.
Thank you.
Yep, I'll be thinking about you for the rest of the morning. I know you're probably not. Well, you've come quite a ways already.
Yeah, where am I? I'm far down in Newton Road. I'm down here though. I'm getting closer to
Love y'all.
Love you guys. Hope to see you this
Love you
evening
too, man.
for Have No Sphere. We'll probably just do some open lines there as well. Otherwise, have yourselves a great weekend, and we will see you back here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, for another exciting episode of the Ironworks. Be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.